Here is why that argument reaches your API bill. A loop is the simplest agent pattern there is. A while loop that feeds the agent's own output back in as its next input, running until it decides it is done. Every iteration of that cycle consumes tokens, and a loop with no exit condition runs until your API budget is gone. That is the failure mode nobody screenshots. Worse, a single feedback loop can lead an agent to confidently fool itself through recursive hallucination, because nothing outside the loop is checking it. And a loop cannot do concurrency. It runs one thing, waits, then the next, which is exactly the seam graphs pry open. So what is a graph actually buying you? It replaces the single while loop with a directed graph, where each node is a discrete operation and each edge is a conditional transition. The classic topology: a planner defines the task, a worker executes, several reviewer nodes run at once, and a synthesizer collects them before a pass-fail gate. The verifier becomes the bottleneck every state transition must pass. The checkpoint is the part engineers actually miss, because each node declares what it reads and writes. State is typed so you can inspect exactly what changed instead of diffing a growing blob of text. You can pause the graph at any node, resume later, and debug from the last checkpoint. Human approval gates slot in naturally between nodes, but structure is not free. Here's the practical payoff, and the catch nobody in that thread priced in. Graphs cost you upfront design. You must know the structure before you run it. And a graph built for 40 scenarios breaks on the 41st. The production answer is a graph of loops, where each node runs its own self-correcting cycle. Typically, 5 nodes running 3 to 4 inner iterations end up triggering roughly 15 to 20 model calls per run, which is fine for high-value tasks like legal document review, but too expensive for routine tasks. Start with a loop, and when drift and audit gaps hit, wrap the working system in a graph instead of rewriting it. The way I see it, graphs won't replace simple loops. They'll just expose how many teams are paying for agent intelligence when all they really needed was a glorified flowchart. Stay patched.